I guess it was from 7th grade to 8th grade, I had a very, very dark time. When I was in middle school, I started to think I might be gay. And to me, I was raised Catholic, not terribly religiously, but to me this seemed like a terrible problem. How could I be gay? This can't possibly be the scenario. And so I struggled with this immensely, and I struggled with the idea that, oh my gosh, what if I go to hell? And it really came to a point where it wasn't what if I go to hell, it was when I die and go to hell, what do I do? I was petrified to talk to anybody, because it was something very personal. It was something that I thought was, I thought that to be gay was something to be ashamed of, because of the sorts of messages that we get from society about that. And so I didn't think that I could talk to anybody. I certainly didn't think I could talk to my parents. And what had happened, in order to do that, what I would do is I'd just write. And I'd write it as though it were a letter to a friend or something like that. And one time I wrote this letter, and in this letter I talked about, sometimes, I'd be in the shower and I'd want to, I just want to end it. Or I'd be in class and I'd be thinking, I'd be thinking about this dilemma, this problem, and I just wanted to die. And it happened that after I wrote that, I didn't do anything with it. I threw it out. And it happened that my mother, quite fortuitously, had lost her wedding ring. And so my family went through all the garbages trying to find, did she accidentally, did her ring slip off into the garbage? And my parents found this folded up note, and they opened it and they read it, and they confronted me about it. And we spoke with the school guidance counselor, and the school guidance counselor recommended a professional to speak with. And it was really within, 2 or 3 meetings, with this counselor. For me, it was sort of just, I needed to change my perspective. I was coming at life from this negative perspective. And what he told me was basically, don't do that. Think about this differently. Don't think about this so negatively. And once I started doing that, I felt so much better, and it was just such a lucky set of circumstances that my parents happened to come across that, because frankly, if they hadn't, I don't know that I would be here. And this counselor sort of turned my perspective on life on its ear, and I started to view life from a more positive lens. And I think it sort of comes back for a lot of people to the element of time. Back then I was, 13, 14 years old, and I thought that what I was experiencing was all that there would be to my life. And it was, I don't want to call it a silly perspective, but it was certainly a false perspective. And so there's that element of time there of sort of giving yourself a chance to grow, a chance to see things differently, a chance to experience life differently. And I think that's what's sort of key to this element of time and recognizing that what you're facing now. There's this line from Avenue Q, a show that I like, that says, everything in life is only for now. And certainly for me that was true, that this depression I was going through, this inability to accept who I was, it was only for then. It's over. And of course everybody has their dark days, regardless. But we always have to remember that this is only for now, that there is so much more to happen that we'll never know until we get there.